Now to the Trump Organization criminal probe and hints on who may take over the case when DA Cy Vance leaves in December. Former federal prosecutor Alvin Bragg is in the lead after the election yesterday. He will be the first black Manhattan DA. Earlier this week, Ari asked him about the Trump probe he could possibly inherit.
I'm a public corruption prosecutor. I prosecuted the majority leader of the state Senate. I prosecuted 2 mayors, one for bribery, one for campaign finance fraud. And at the Attorney General's office, I led the team that held Trump and his children accountable for their misconduct with the Trump Foundation. So I go where the facts go.
The facts show prosecutors closing in on Trump's inner circle, now investigating Trump Organization executive Matthew Calamari, who used to be his bodyguard. Former Trump Organization executive Barbara Rez says Calamari knows all.
Calamari knows where the body's been. He's been with Trump through thick and thin, every single move that Trump ever made. Matt's been there, or someone else, but usually Matt. And he might not know anything financial, but he probably was sitting around when things were discussed. So he probably has information.
Calamari, the consigliere. Trump has denied any wrongdoing, but the heat is on Trump CFO Alan Weisselberg, who is reportedly still going to work at Trump Tower and not yet cooperating with prosecutors. Former Manhattan District Attorney Robert Gottlieb telling the Washington Post Weisselberg is playing, quote, Russian roulette with prison time. Joining me now is Robert Gottlieb, a New York criminal defense attorney and former Manhattan Assistant District Attorney, and former federal prosecutor Joyce Vance. Thank you all so much. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Gottlieb. I've got to ask, because I love the metaphor and the imagery, how are members of Trump's organization playing Russian roulette with jail right now?
Listen, if somebody as high up in the organization as Weisselberg thinks he can get away with just a slap on the wrist and play the tough guy and protect his boss, he's dead wrong. It's a very dangerous game. The DA is not playing games here. First, it has to be said, we don't know whether or not he's already cooperating, frankly. But assuming he isn't cooperating right now, the leniency train left the station a long time ago. It's been going on for over a year. The DA has gone to great lengths of fighting the battle for tax records, subpoenas in court, all the way up, right, to the Supreme Court. If and when he is charged, the DA is not going to charge him with simply minor charges. All the talk has been about his children and whether or not taxes were paid on gifts or apartments. That's not, if the DA is going to pull the trigger and indict him as part of the investigation to get Trump, they're going to indict him on crimes that, by everything we know, involve Trump. We're talking about tax fraud, insurance fraud, falsifying business records. We're talking about bank fraud, and if he's charged with that, he's just dead wrong in thinking he's going to get away with just a slap on the wrist.
Now, I want to follow this up. You know, all of this prosecution, this would, of course, be pressing Weisselberg to turn over things about Trump. I want to play you some sound from a Trump deposition in 2015. I want to get your thoughts on this on the way when we come back on how you think Trump will respond to the increased heat that's on somebody like Weisselberg.
I don't have my glasses. I mean, I am at a disadvantage because I didn't bring my glasses. This is such small writing.
All right, well, if the witness can't actually physically read the language, that's a problem.
It's very small writing. I can make it out. Do you want me to try?
Now, Robert, I see this, and this to me is Trump basically acting like Uncle Junior in The Sopranos, right? Suddenly I can't read. I don't understand things. I'm confused and hazy in order to avoid prosecution. It looks to me like Trump is either going to play dumb or say, I don't know you, to any person who ends up trying to turn evidence on him. So, you know, are these people being loyal because they think at some point Trump is going to help them? Or is Weisselberg and the like being loyal because they somehow think they can beat the system, even though the guy they're protecting is known to either play dumb or stab people in the back?
Listen, that's been the million-dollar question for years and years. why in heaven's name are people willing to give up their lives, their morality for Donald Trump? So in this case, I'm willing to bet if he decides to play the tough guy and not cooperate, he has this view that there's some honor in it and that he doesn't want to do anything to hurt the person who really bought his silence. But he's wrong, because I think we have seen time and time again, Trump will sell you down the river like that. And he's just mistaken in thinking that he can just plead guilty or go to trial and be convicted, and it's no big deal. Listen, he's in, what, 73, 74 years old. He could very well spend the rest of his life in jail. So when the time comes, I'm willing to bet. Don't be so quick to assume that he will not cooperate, if not cooperating already.
Joyce, I want to ask you this. So, all these other names have come out. Now we've got this guy, Calamari, Calamari, Cohen, Weisselberg. They sound like Dick Tracy gangsters from the 1930s, this group of people that Trump surrounded himself with. Calamari is a former bodyguard. Then he was working in a Trump organization. Lay out to our audience again what the significance is of yet somebody else who supposedly was directing the money being under investigation. Is that a real change, or is this just a standard prosecution at this point?
Well, the tough part in this sort of a case is proving the state of mind of people that you charge, proving that they intentionally engaged in fraud or that they had knowledge of fraud. And prosecutors are entitled to use circumstantial evidence, but the best evidence you can get in these cases is someone who was working with the defendant, who can talk about what they did on a daily basis and even what they may have privately acknowledged. So it's no surprise that prosecutors are looking at people who would have been all around Trump. Like Robert, I'm a little bit agnostic and perhaps suspicious of this reporting that says that Weisselberg isn't already cooperating. Of course, that's possible, but it's equally possible that prosecutors are using investigative tools that make them disinclined perhaps to focus on who they may already have cooperation from. You can never have too many witnesses to someone's state of mind. The more, the better. And there's probably no one who knows that better than the man who will presumably become the district attorney for Manhattan after Cy Vance steps down at the end of the year, someone who was involved in some of the most critical public corruption cases that the U.S. Attorney's Office brought during the Obama era, and who understands how tough it is to prove state of mind.
So, Joyce, I want to follow up with that. When you get a new district attorney who comes in with a case this big, is there a delay? Like, is he going to jump into the office and it's like, we're going to give you a stack of papers and here you go? Is there a 6 or 7 week sort of wind up time? Or has he already sort of been briefed on this process and we're going to see a smooth transition? Because, to the layman who doesn't necessarily understand everything about what district attorneys do, there may be a concern that, as we've seen with the Justice Department and some other areas, that a new attorney coming in might have a slightly different perspective or even a different strategy that may slow down this investigation.
Well, you don't really brief people up on cases before they take the oath of office for a lot of reasons.
Right.
But there's a difference between having a new sheriff come into town, somebody who's running the office, and have a new lead prosecutor be dropped in on a case. And so here you've got a new boss for the office, someone who's certainly going to want to review and take a look at things. But my suspicion is that he will leave the prosecution team intact and whatever charging decisions they've made, while he might want to take a look at them, he will let them move forward with the process that's already underway.
And if I could just, I think Joyce is absolutely right, but we also have to remember, if it is a Bragg who takes over, he's out of the Attorney General's office. And this has been, now it is, a joint investigation involving the Manhattan DA as well as the New York Attorney General. So I agree. I don't foresee that he's going to suddenly uproot and change the course of this investigation.
We are not going to be done with this because it is such a morass of corruption, but I think it's good. It's important. And I like that we're covering this kind of issue because had we paid more attention to this beforehand, maybe we wouldn't have had Donald Trump manage to get into the White House. Robert Gottlieb and Joyce Vance, thank you so much for your time.